What is up, cupcakes? It's your boy Paperback Dan. I'm back with Connor. We're doing another Wednesday Warrior video. We missed last week, so personally, I'm going to touch on some of the stuff that I got last week. Connor is still trying to catch up, so he's going to basically kind of touch on everything that he's got up to this point. So what's up? What's going on?
Yeah, it's good to do another one of these. This might be a massive one, because it's all over the place, and I still don't know what came out this week, what came out last week, what comes out next week. It's yeah, just grab onto something and hold on.
Yeah, so it's been weird. Missed you last week, but thankfully Loheat and Ben did their thing, and they picked up a lot of cool stuff. Some of it actually influenced some of the choices that I made for last week. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so let's just dive right into it. What did you get?
So to start off, I'm going to show off a bunch of stuff I've not read yet, but and some of these are definitely like from previous weeks, but let's just go with it. Let's just fly and see where we land. So the first two I'll bring up because they're themed. They're themed. Is The Thing 3 and 4. I fell behind on this one, and Taylor Talks Comics loves this and always hypes it up. So yeah, I really enjoyed the first two issues of this. The art is incredible, and I'm very much excited to see what is brought with these two issues, because the art is amazing and it's way better than I ever expected the Thing to get. So
whatever the hell that was, that looked cool though. So
yeah, the art is insane. Like there's the 2-page spreads and stuff that are just insane in these books. Like the art is just so on point. Like it just knows how to pop off the page. And by all means, like definitely the first two issues easily could have been like pick of the week. They were really well written. Again, surprised me because it's the Thing. Some people will kill me for that, one person in particular. But let's move on. The next issue, and these kind of theme as well, but I'll go through them first. A Superman and Robin special. So like, I love these guys, the Super Sons. They're awesome. They've kind of been aged up a wee bit. Damien's kind of been aged up a bit to try and catch up with John now, because Bendis nearly destroyed that character, but we'll not go there. But yeah, looking forward to reading that. They have a crazy good dynamic. Robin's own series, which is the next one. Holy hell, that was a good tie-in.
It's a great transition.
John's appeared in this, and Damien's appeared in John's series quite a few times. And this series is stellar. I haven't actually brought this up much, and I've not read this issue yet, but this series is awesome, and Damien is an awesome Robin, maybe even the best. Tim Drake or Damien for me. And it's almost Mortal Kombat shit, the first arc of it. And it's kind of interesting how it's building off in the Batman world. And the other thing as well is this is crossing over with Batman and Deathstroke Inc. in a month. And that is seemingly a big building block towards DC's next big event, which is recently been revealed as Dark Crisis. And
Joshua Williamson is writing all three of those books, right, that are crossing over, Deathstroke,
yeah,
Batman, and
so
Rob.
It's cohesive as fuck. It's beautiful.
I love that.
Beautiful. And we love cohesiveness in comics.
Yeah,
we love when everything fits perfectly. That's why you should read Valiant. Anyway.
Yeah. Great plug. Great plug.
Valiant Comics. The last two that I've not read and I bought, and this is a catch up as well, are the two Moon Knight issues. The two most recent ones. I have not read them, and this series has been good. Like I think it's been a steady, good quality. Not like mind blowing, but it's Moon Knight. It's like Moon Knight is never a bad character to read. He's always consistently well written. It's just the different degrees of well written, you know, like he's always at the least good. So I'm very excited to read those because I kind of had a good time with them. So now these next ones I've read, and this will be in order of what I liked and disliked. So my bottom pick of the week, and I don't think this came out this week, and also I sadly could only get a variant cover, Hulk 3. With this weird black and white variant cover. That's all I could get. That's what happens when you don't buy in December.
Yeah, I don't love that cover, but I mean, it could be worse. I'm sure some people out there are crazy about it.
It could be worse. I could have not read the thing. Or is it better? It could have been better if I didn't read it. Because it was my worst pick.
Was it that not good? I haven't read it yet. So
it just didn't impress me at all. Like, it just didn't impress me at all. It's just this series has had 3 issues that all kind of feel like they just dismantle the thing they set up in the previous issue. He's starting to tease his null guy. That just feels like another null guy. He's just Cates does this thing where he just teases a villain and he's going to tease the fuck out that villain for 30 issues and milk that shit. And then you get to the end of it and you're like, oh, that was nice. I was like, that was nice. It's not Dark Crisis, though. Anyway, I'm going to be called up for that, I bet you. My next issue, and this one was, I kind of surprised me. I was a bit about, was Venom 4.
Okay.
And the thing with this one is, I'm actually where you're at now. It's Ram V, and I'm like, where's Al Ewing? What's going on here? Because I don't feel like I liked it when it started and it balanced the two. And I know they did it was a story thing that they took Eddie kind of out a wee bit, but I don't know. Like, now I'm reading this, I'm like, it's either Ram V hasn't got a strong enough grasp, or that Dylan Brock isn't compelling enough. But I feel like there's something missing. I'm not quite into Dylan, but I'm like, I enjoyed Dylan in Kate's run, so I'm like, is it Ram V, or is it just Dylan can't handle a series himself yet? Whereas if I compared it to like Clark's son John, and I'm not talking about his new series, I'm talking about his old series, like the Super Sons and stuff, honestly, I could easily watched I could easily read John Kent as a kid, just his series, and just, I could easily imagine him getting his own one. Whereas Dylan, I never always thought about him getting his own series, and that's what this has basically become right now. I'm hoping it changes with what's happened in that issue, but yeah, it was okay. So the next 2 issues I have, and this is a crazy one. This is, man, I had a trip with this. Monkey Meat.
Oh, you read it?
Monkey Meat 1 and 2.
I think 2 came out today.
Yeah,
but 1.
This is
God.
Bad shit. I was so confused and yet absolutely enthralled. The art for this is incredible. And the second issue is just anime, and it's just ace. And yeah, I can't even say, I can't even tell you much about it because it's just so crazy. It's like Monkey Meat City, and then there's a Monkey Meat Corporation, and they sell monkey meat, but then that births Soul Juice, and the second issue is about Soul Juice, but in Monkey Meat City, and loosely connects the first one, but it's an anthology. It's mental.
Yeah, Monkey Meat was my worst pick of the week the month that it came out.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I was not a fan of it.
It was just see the first issue. The first issue is just absolutely nuts, and I couldn't really get a grasp on it. The second issue, though, is as I say, is inspired by anime. I really enjoyed the second issue. It is mostly like I don't know if you can see this. It is mostly like what you would expect for anime sort of splash pages, manga splash pages, but the second issue worked for me. The second issue worked way more than the first issue, but the first issue was just so nuts and confusing. I kind of loved it. I don't think it was all that crazy good, but sure. I got more out of that than Venom and Hulk. They were just kind of generic, whereas this was just at least challenged me in some sort of way. I nearly lost my mind reading it, but and also it's called Monkey Meat. How can you not pick that up? I was like, what the hell?
That's why I got it. I was like, you know what? That title's too ridiculous for me not to want to check it out. We did the same thing with Chicken Devil, and we ended up enjoying that. So I was like, Monkey
Chicken
Meat.
Devil, Chicken Devil, and Monkey Meat, polar opposites in the spectrum.
Well, yeah.
But the titles are similar.
Yeah.
Damn the titles.
Being ridiculous.
And then, so my next one, we're going on to more sane grounds now, is Radiant Black 12. I very much enjoyed this issue. I thought it was a great issue. It feels weird though, because that's the end of like season 1 that they've said. Like they're now way to start season 2, and then like like that's what they're cutting up with, and like Super Heavy is the break. Like they're and then they'll start the new season. But if that's the end of season 1, how does I don't think it really works as an ending.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like I
just,
didn't read it yet, but I don't understand how an issue that focuses on Radiant Pink like randomly is the way to end the season.
It teases some stuff, and there is a couple revelations. It's a really good issue. Like, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't work as if you're treating it as a season 1 finale. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense to me. So that angle, iffy. There is some reveals, but they were okay. They need way more information, which will probably come in season 2. But but yeah, like it was all right. It was a good issue, but yeah, it needed to answer more. A regular in my pool list that was nearly top pick of the week, Mighty Morphin. Yeah, I've said everything I can say about Power Rangers at this point. We're coming to the end of the Italian War. The reason this wasn't top pick, I think, is because this, I think, is the penultimate issue. And it was like getting to that final stage. All the reveals and the climax will be the next issue. But it was kind of moving all the pieces, so we were kind of there. It was all the emotional payoff, and not so much the about the surprises and the twists. There's been so much of that recently anyway that I think the burnout is there, where they can't really do a lot now. They just have to pay off everything. They just have to kind of bring the story full circle, and it'll be a good story. But the way it is going, Parrot will have nailed it again. Please write Spider-Man. Watch that video, by the way.
I hope he sees this.
Yeah. So my pick of the week, and actually my cover of the week, because I'm a sucker for this guy, was Superman, Son of Kal-El. And Dan Mora's cover was...
I recognized the art immediately.
Dan Mora, man. He's so cool, but what a freaking cover. I love this cover. And yeah, do you know what, right? This has been bothering me reading this series, okay? Like, I've been sitting thinking, I've seen some people criticize it. Like, I feel like Cupcake Ben criticized it wrongly, but the series, having gotten to this point, it snapped today in my head. I was like, oh, it reads like a Valiant series. It doesn't read like a DC comic. It doesn't read like a Marvel comic. It doesn't read like a comic from Big Two. It reads like Valiant were running it. The social commentary and like the commentary on like bigger aspects like climate change, the climate and like immigration and stuff. Like this is all stuff that you don't tend to see in a comic book, and all the people that slag off can fuck off. It's really kind of weaved in really well, and John is a really compelling character in regards to how he's like dealing with it and figuring it all out. The book, this book doesn't read like it had an indie feel to it that's really cool, particularly this issue. And also what I love, which could be brought up if we ever bring up like Dark Crisis and where that's going, Aqualad shows up in this, and it almost felt like a first meeting, like, oh, I can see this being the seed for like if they ever were in the same Justice League or something. And they had a really good interaction in this. But how John dealt with the situation that kind of arose in that issue, and how the world reacts to that decision is rather interesting. It's not just cookie cutter, he's saving the day. Like, what I love is Superman is an alien. Everyone knows he's an alien, and everyone just accepts him. John is a human thinking about human problems in a human world, and he gets kind of rattled for it. People don't like him for it. And I'm like, it doesn't kind of make sense to me. But the thing is that what you see in the real world and people commenting on that series is what this book is commenting on in the actual world. And I love it. I think it's really cool. Tom Taylor writes a kick-ass Superman. And I appreciate that he didn't just sit there and just do the same thing. He thought, you know, he's human and he's got all this power. Superman never got involved in any of this stuff because he's an alien. He felt like he never really had the place to. Then Superman was basically like, well, you're human. Go and deal with this stuff if you feel that's the way you should. And he is. And he's not being written disrespectfully. It's not like he's spitting in the face of people or whatever. It's just standing up for stuff that he believes in. And there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, pick of the week. It reads like a Valiant book, and that cover is sick as fuck.
So yeah, that I love little yeah, no, that cover caught my eye as well. It wasn't quite my cover of the week. Mine's a little different. But I really liked it. I thought it was cool, like that kaiju thing in the back. I think it looks fucking dope.
I just think it was the heroicness of it. I just love the classic Superman shirt pull. Dan Mora, like he just does like angles like no one else. I just love the way he draws like just characters and figures in general. And it's just like a classic Superman pose, but with John. I just love it. I just love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a really great cover. I'm a fan. I guess that means it's my turn. And holy shit!
Wait, there's more. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I've been going for a second. I was like, wait, he didn't save his pick of the week for last. Yeah, no, there's a lot to cover for me because we didn't make a video last week. I was on vacation, so I grabbed my stuff from last week. I grabbed my stuff from this week. There's a ton of stuff. I didn't get to read any of it because I've been busy. So I'm just gonna breeze through very quickly the stuff from last week. First thing, bought this on a whim because I saw somebody in one of the Facebook groups saying like it was actually pretty decent, and it caught my eye because I thought the cover was cool. I got this Monkey Prince book. Number one, it says limited series, but it doesn't have like the actual issue count, which I think is kind of strange. I don't know
at that book.
Did say it kind of caught my eye, and I was like, I don't know about this one. But then when I started hearing some decent things about it, I'm like, all right, you know what? Like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And this one, I don't know if it counts, but if this hurts your feelings, Connor, I'm sorry. Blame Ben, because he said it wasn't that bad. I picked up Savage Spider-Man. Just because
I haven't really read Nonstop. That's a sequel to Nonstop, so I can't really comment on that.
So I kind of want to know what's going on over there because Spider-Man's like half spider on the cover, and I think that kind of translates into the actual book. So that's kind of cool. I want to know what's up with that. I might have to read Nonstop apparently, which of course I didn't because I don't really read Spider-Man usually.
Classic paperback Dan.
Listen. The book I'm most excited for, though, that's kind of new to me is Primos from AWA. It was Ben's pick of the week last week, which has me even more excited because like I was already going to get this book, and then Ben was talking about it, and then in the video he said it was actually his pick of the week, which is kind of insane. So I'm really excited about that. AWA has had some decent stuff. Their Knighted series that I've been pulling is pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that. Other stuff that I'm caught up on up until these most recent issues is World of Krypton 3 of 6. Justice League Incarnate 4 of 5. Connor, I know you're caught up. No spoilers, no spoilers.
Okay.
And then Dark Knights of Steel 4 of 12. All three of those books I'm caught up on, except for the ones that I just showed you. I'm really liking all the series. Dark Knights of Steel is probably my favorite of the three. But overall, really good stuff. So I'm excited to dive in. I'm mad that they all came out in the same week and I didn't get to read any of them, but whatever. It's fine.
Classic paperback Dan.
Listen, the only book that I did read from last week, because I bought it digitally and I brought my tablet like traveling with me, is Chicken Devil number 4, which is the finale of Chicken Devil. Holy shit, what a series. That's all I'm going to say. I want more. They left it open, so we'll see. Chicken Devil's great.
I need to read the rest of it. I've only still read the first issue.
Yeah, dude, it's good. It gets
Classic corner.
So that was it for last week's stuff. This week's stuff, it's quite a doozy. I've got a lot of books. Once we start making enough money to do this and we like hire like a background person, they can like check the stats to see which weeks we pulled like the most stuff, because this has to be a record for me. So right off the bat, you already know that I haven't read this fucking series yet. I'm just gonna wait till it's over. Titans United, 6 of 7. The covers continue to be fantastic. I don't think they've had a bad cover this whole series, which is pretty remarkable.
I've seen mad praise for that series as well.
Oh yeah,
I've seen mad praise. Yeah,
I've seen people wish that Titans were like resembled this book a little more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. People loving it.
So this series I bought on a whim because I love the character for like, I guess, nostalgic reasons. Is Maestro World War M. Is written by Peter David. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really know what's going on in the book. I just got it because it's a Maestro book. So when we do a catch up of some sort, I'll let you know. Next, I have a couple of titles that I picked up on a whim. They're all brand new number ones from publishers that, you know, most people aren't reading these days. The first one is Cover of Darkness from Source Point Press. It's number 1. And it's some like weird, like horror-ish kind of book, but it's also like some sort of action-packed journey or something like that. I don't know. Someone's like trying to find their family or something. That's what the description said. I was like, all right, fine. The cover looks cool. Also, though, I feel like it's like kind of ripping off this cover a little bit. A week apart. I'm like, these are like disturbingly similar. Like when I saw the cover, I was like, wait a minute, is there any relation to the other one? But it's not even the same publisher. So whatever. I'm not accusing anyone of plagiarism or anything. Don't take it that way.
Twitter's about to be lit up.
Apparently Twitter has been a mess because like some people, I don't even want to get into it. Anyway, another Source Point Press book is Shelter Division. This one is a 3-issue miniseries, and apparently something is like threatening all of existence, and the government is like making a team of, I don't know, it looks like aliens and humans and other stuff. I don't know. The art's really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Source Point Press is kind of done right by me. I'll touch on that later. The last thing for stuff that's like new that I haven't really read at all is called Life Zero, number 1 from Ablaze. I think it's a zombie book, which I didn't really know going into it, and I don't care. I like that shit. But like I thought the cover was pretty cool looking. And even like going through it, the art, like it's dark and it's like bleak a little bit, but I think that's on purpose. But it's really good in my opinion. And yeah, so that's stuff for like what I kind of don't really know anything about. The next thing that I want to talk about is more stuff that I'm caught up on up until like today's issue. Is Scorched, number 2. The first one was fine. It wasn't great enough to keep me interested. I haven't read a ton of Spawn, so like I'm very curious. The one book that I have missed without realizing it is Good Boy, number 3 from Source Point Press. Good Boy number 2 was my pick of the week, like last month, or feels like it's been like 2 months. Like I don't know why this issue didn't come out sooner, but I mean, the cover is awesome. This is the final issue. I've had a ton of fun with this series. I can't wait to get into that one. Up next is Night Janik, Instruction for Making a Proper Offering to Forgotten Gods. It's a fucking mouthful. But I read the first issue last month and it was really cool. I think they said, was it if like Zelda and Conan like had a baby is like kind of what you would get with this. For those of you who have read like Skull Kickers, I get a lot of similar vibes to that. So if that's something you're interested in, this could be worth checking out as well. It's only a 3-issue miniseries. It's from Behemoth. So like they're kind of under the radar as well. Almost done. We're issue 4, I think, for Phenom X. I still don't know how to pronounce it. it's been okay. The first 3 issues, I could have sworn it was 5 issues, and I feel like in all the videos that I've been talking about it, I've said 5, and apparently it's only 4. I don't know if that changed or if I've just been making shit up. The series is fine. I might get it in a trade, just because I don't know. I like having an actual trade collection. If I ever go to like reread it, like I'm not going to dig out the singles. So it's been okay. I'm kind of curious to see how it ends. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Only got 2 left. So I also got Radiant Black number 12. Or yeah, it's 12, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12.
So I am excited for this because while I was on vacation, I finally took the time to catch up on all the other Radiant Black stuff. So I'm all the way caught up until this issue, which took forever because I was like 4 or 5 months behind, I think. I do think it's weird that right before the Supermassive event, they have like a one-off like Radiant Pink issue. I'm sure it's good. Still looking forward to it. But I don't know. I'm sure it's good. Like you said, I have faith in you.
It's not how you build hype, though, is it?
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It kind of doesn't make sense to me to like have this big event that's coming out in I think it's going to be 2 weeks now. And you have an issue with it's not even the main character like starring in it. Like I don't know, it just feels weird, especially because like the way the last issue ended, to me it almost doesn't make sense for it to focus. Like I know she was in the last issue also, but I don't know. It feels just as out of place as when they did it with Radiant Red in like issue 5 or whatever. Last up, I didn't read this either. Oh wait, I lied. I'm still saving the best one for last. I got another one that I bought today because of Cupcake Ben, who I don't know why I let him influence my decisions. Like I don't know where that started being a thing. I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know, whatever. They didn't have this book when I got to my shop. So I bought it digitally just to see what it was about. It's called Land of the Living Gods from Aftershock. It's a number 1. Apparently, like the world is like ending or something, and this character thinks that gods like still exist and is like looking for a miracle to save their dying planet or something like that. I don't know. It's fine. It takes place, I think, in South Africa. I know it has a South African like writer or creative team, I think it said. But it takes place in like the year 3000 something. I don't know. I like stuff that takes place in the future, so you know, pretty easy sell for me. Last up, I've been kind of dreading this, but also looking forward to it. The final issue for volume 2 of No One Left to Fight. Giant fucking crater. It looks great. There's a lot of shit going on. I'm really excited about the book. I have no idea where it's going to end because like they don't have to continue the series from here, but they could. And if they do, there's multiple directions they could take it in. So I really don't know what to expect from this issue, but I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And had I read it, I'm sure it would have been my pick of the week. So we're just going to call it that.
I do not believe you that you're excited for it. There's no way you're excited for that.
I mean, I'm excited because like the way issue 4 set this one up, it's like, okay, cool. Like something big is about to happen. But at the same time, I'm not looking forward to the fact that it's the last issue and I'm going to be without it for possibly ever, but at least until
finish the story before it falls apart in your hand from your tears. Okay. Like, just make sure you get the end dry,
right?
Get the story, and then maybe cry a little bit.
Yeah. I am bummed because my shop didn't have the second cover. I don't know what's going on with Dark Horse lately.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the last 3 times this book came out, they didn't have both covers, but then like a week or 2 ago I showed up and they had both of the covers that I was missing because the shop finally got them or whatever, and they were still put on the new rack as if they were new even though they were like 2 weeks old, and I was very confused. But yeah, so No One Left to Fight 2, number 5. I'm excited for it. We'll just call it my pick of the week just because like I'm already biased. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. So that's all I got. I tried to rush through that. I feel like I kind of went really fast, but I also talked a lot because there was so much shit. I had 8 issues. If you include the 2 that I bought digitally, I had 8 issues from last week and then 12 issues from this week. It's fucking nuts.
I got a bit of whiplash. I feel like I need a seatbelt listening to that. You're just taking me on a tour of the indie world. You totally went mad for indie.
I really did. I absolutely did. There's so because I think I had 1 DC book and 1 Marvel book this week. Everything else was not those 2.
I feel the good thing is, though, between the 2 of us, I think we covered every base you could imagine.
Yeah, no, I do think that helps. I think because you get a lot of the DC stuff that I don't, and then I get a lot of the independent stuff that nobody gets.
And
but,
nobody gets Marvel.
Yeah, honestly, like if it wasn't for that Maestro book, like my Marvel pull would look very small. Maybe I should have started pulling Moon Knight, and I don't know.
Well, I fell behind on Thor, and I'm struggling to get the most recent issue. Like I can't find it in my city. I'm trying to find it to catch up, but it's one that I'm like, it wasn't amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Marvel be Marvel.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Eventually, I mean, it's hard to say. My cover of the week, actually, before I forget, is Secret X-Men Volume 1 or number 1. Sorry. I think it looks cool because it's got like a bunch of like B-list mutants kind of, and that's the shit that I like. It's the stuff that I like with DC. I like when the characters that aren't always around get some shine. It doesn't have like Wolverine or Cyclops or Storm on the cover. It's all a bunch of like B or C list people. So I think that's cool. That's the kind of thing that appeals to me. I almost wanted to grab it, but I talked myself out of it because I'm not trying to dive into what's going on with X-Men right now because I feel like I'd be a little bit lost because there's way too much. I haven't read anything from like the Hickman era to now. So I feel like I'd be kind of making a mess if I got into it. So that's why I opted not to. But the cover was cool. I really dig it. The A cover specifically. But yeah. So with that said, we're going to wrap this up. We are on Spotify, Cupcakes Comic Reviews. We'll probably have some more stuff coming out there pretty soon. Kind of excited about that. Lots of things worth talking about. A lot of catching up to do, as you clearly just saw. So yeah, Spotify. Check out the Facebook group. I also just dropped another video about a tiny publisher, kind of showing you guys about them. I was excited about that. I'm excited to keep finding out more about the publisher, reading them, etc. And yeah, so with that said,
Facebook and Instagram. For the love of God, drop the Instagram. I'm still feeling the heat from not dropping the Instagram.
I did say Facebook. I forgot about Twitter too. But yeah, we're all over the place. I am also on Twitter and Instagram, separate from the Cupcakes accounts. So a lot of cupcake action going on over on social media. I'll try to link everything in the description. With that said, let us know what you picked up this week or last week, since we weren't here to talk about that either. What was your pick of the week? Let me know what I should have picked up. Did I make a mistake believing Ben and getting Land of the whatever the hell it was called, Lost Gods, or I already forget. But yeah, Connor, do you have any final words?
No, just the same as you. Let us know what you picked up and why you didn't pick up any Marvel. And just it's the week I'm ragging on Marvel. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We'll probably have a discussion about Dark Crisis coming up as well. So if you're interested in that event, keep your eyes out. But thanks for watching.
Yes, and I will reiterate his sentiment. Thanks for watching. We're glad to be back. Sorry I missed last week. I promise, no more vacations. Well, just kidding. But yeah, so with that said, we're going to close this out. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Peace.